Hi, Mr. A. How's life treating you?
Hello, Mr. Jed. Life is treating me in the same manner as I'm treating it. It's like I'm living in the era of Newton's third law.
Okay. And how do you explain that? Like, can you please elaborate a little how you are calling it your Newton's third law era?
Yeah, it's like it's treating me in the same manner as I'm treating it. Whatever I deliver, I get it back.
Okay. Wow, that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Sounds like a very scientific way of living life.
yeah, it may be.
But anyway, welcome to DYR. Although I'm not a host here. We both are here as this is like a joint venture.
Yeah,
So, but for the sake of, a structured talk we can have, I'll welcome you on DYR on this new journey where we'll be learning, observing, and questioning all the possible realities which exist out there in the world.
yeah, welcome to you as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, and this acronym DYR stands for Do You Reckon? So, what are we going to reckon today?
Well, that's why we are here today, because we are here to talk about things which are not very much talked about. And today we are going to reckon, or I would say, we'll make everyone else who's watching us, who's listening to us, to reckon a term called post-truth. And this term is more relevant for, it is especially used in the field of politics. That's why it is called post-truth politics as well. And sometimes we refer it to as an era, like we are living in a post-truth era. And I think it's a very, what I have read about it, that it's a meme term which have not been talked much. And I think that's the best start we can give it to our journey.
Yeah, as per my understanding is concerned, it is not just limited to a term or concept. It has become a theory, and propounders of this theory say that this is the new reality. So, are we going to question the post-truth era, or I would say question the existing realities of this world?
Yeah, well, that's why we are here today, like I already mentioned, because I don't think I'll be able to do that all alone. It might get a little overwhelming for me. So, yes, let's do this. And I would, ask you to start with the definition of the term for our audience. How about that?
Yeah, indeed, it is overwhelming. We haven't discovered its, or I would say invented its proper definition or absolute definition, I would like to say. But we have certain definitions which have been given by various dictionaries. In 2016, Oxford Dictionaries defined it that it is related to or denoting to circumstances in which objective facts are less influential in shaping public opinion, appeals to emotion and personal belief.
Okay. All right. So I think I'll break it down for our audience
Yeah.
in simple terms. So Mr. A is trying to tell us that post-truth is something which makes people, not able to see the objectivity of a fact. Like they don't see a certain fact the way it is.
Yeah.
Rather, they get manipulated by their preconceived notions,
Yeah.
biases, confirmation biases, I would say,
Mhm.
and emotions. Like
Yeah.
those areas of mind are more dominant rather than the area which is, which questions things. They are not able to criticize things. They get manipulated because of all these three psychological aspect I already mentioned, the
Yeah.
confirmation bias and etc.
Yeah.
And the line between, I would say, the subjectivity and the objectivity gets very blurred. Like, I'll give you an example. Suppose there is a campaign going on
Yeah.
for election. There are two candidates, A and B. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, candidate A is questioning the policies which are, like they are on the manifesto of B, and claiming them to be, not good, and like it is going to make economy of the country collapse.
Yeah.
Now, the supporters of candidate A
Mhm.
are not able to go behind the authenticity of that statement, just because they are so much influenced by candidate A
Mhm.
that they won't question his statements.
Mm.
Although there are evidences present, the experts' opinion is there. There are data which suggest that the statement made by candidate A is not true in its complete sense. But still, the emotional part and the preconceived notion and the confirmation bias which the supporters of candidate A have in their mind already will defeat the questioning, and they won't go behind the, they won't go for the I would say fact checking, and they will succumb to the, I would say, opinion of their candidate. So this is one of the example of, the term post-truth in function.
Yeah, I would say you talked about those areas of mind. You mentioned those places in our mind. We all know that in our mind there are various places, or I would say areas, for sake of brevity. We tend to go each areas in many a times in a day. Sometimes we go in the love areas of mind, sometimes we go in the hate areas of mind. Sometimes we just visit different areas of our mind,
That's right.
and this is I would say regulated by our subconscious brain. So our subconscious has been manipulated by this era of misinformation and
That's true. Yeah.
this era of post-truth, I would say. Like, we do not, if someone is quoting something from a book, we do not go and check that book. We just Google.
True that. Yeah. I do that very often. Yeah.
Even I do that very often. But a few instances have made me believe that not everything on Google is correct. Even some credible websites, I don't know who made them credible, but they are known as credible in public eyes. But I have noticed certain facts are not correct there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I will agree with you, because I feel, human mind is very vulnerable to manipulation. Like, we don't even realize that we are getting manipulated.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you so many examples right there which we experience on a daily basis.
Yeah.
For example, whenever you visit a mall,
Yeah.
and when you enter the mall, even if you look for a watch, there is no watch. You would rarely find a watch which can, or anything which is showing the time. Do you know reason behind it? What I have read is they don't put it on purpose, because if people will see the time, they will be in rush, okay, and they will find it as if they are wasting their time, and they will always look for quick escapes to move out. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I have to visit there at this time. That's why they don't put it.
Yeah, they might feel that they are running out of time.
Exactly, and that's the reason there is nothing to show the time in the malls. And there is another, the whole architecture of mall is very, manipulative, because if you'll take an escalator, or any stairs, you will be able to see all around the floor of a mall in one go. There is no obstacle, there is no obstruction.
Yeah.
If you are standing on the opposite side, you can see the shop, what shop is there on the opposite side very clearly. And this is the reason we tend to spend more time, because and that's how the concept of window shopping came in picture.
Yeah.
People, even if they don't want to buy, they look at it. Even they know that they might not be able to afford it. You know?
Yeah.
So basically all these I would say big companies or whatever, I don't know who is the source of all these manipulation, but it is making you look at things more and more even though you don't want to buy, and they're creating that void in your brain that okay, oh, I wish I had that, I wish I will have it someday. You know, at the end of the day you are letting them win. It's not that, you know, you're not telling yourself okay, I'll you know, someday I'll become so I would say peaceful inside, or like feeling content inside, that I would not want to have those things.
Yeah.
Rather you're saying, oh, I'll be earning so much and then someday I'll coming and buy. Okay, what like, you know, the company is going to win.
Yeah.
They want you to do that.
Yeah.
So this is quite, you know, when I started looking at these things from a bird's eye view, I realized, okay, wow, this really is affecting my decision making and
process,
like everything else, like,
yeah,
you know. So yeah, this is very true, that manipulation of mind is going at every second, be it your mobile notifications, be it your Instagram reels, be it your YouTube shorts. You know, there is like so much of information, but at the same time there is power, I would say poverty of attention. Wealth of I read this quote in some article which says wealth of information leads to poverty of attention.
Yeah, even I had read it somewhere when I was pondering about this post-truth era. And you mentioned the example of a mall. Once I tried to see it from the perspective of attention.
Okay.
Like in mall, you see that there are various stores.
Right.
At one place. When a person goes to a shop and finds all those things in just single shop, he won't buy. And he won't find that place interesting, or I would say that interesting for a longer period of time. He just gets bored very early when he goes to a shop. But when it comes to a mall, he is able to shift his attention one by one to various shops.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
It's like I had read or watched somewhere that we tend to watch YouTube shorts, or we tend to watch things in YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, because it has it's very short, and we are lacking in attention, so focusing our attention for longer period of time. So we just put our attention to a particular place for a very short span of time, and this happens in the mall.
Right.
We just shift our attention and be there for a very short while. But in mall you have a lot of options. True. Like Instagram reels and Instagram shorts.
And I think that same manipulation, it's the, you know, I think the crux of both kind of manipulation is same.
Yeah.
Be it your Instagram reels, or be it your window shopping.
Yeah.
Or, you know, be it any kind of notification you get on your phone. Like,
yeah.
The more you see it, you might not be giving it a conscious attention.
Yeah.
But you are still giving it a read, you know. When you like drop down your, you know, notification panel on your phone. Yeah. Even, you know, if you are going to dismiss that, the moment you dismiss it, you do give it a very quick read. You know what's written there, right? Yeah. You know what's written there. And
you just like to take a glance of it.
Exactly. And that glance is enough. And that glance is enough to stay in your subconscious, and you know when it will work. The moment you will crave a food, and that notification will pop up in your head,
Yeah.
and you will end up ordering the food, and that too on a very stupid kind of coupon which really doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It will make you feel that, oh, I'm getting such a huge discount. Bro, literally every other phone is getting the same discount.
Yeah.
Rupees 125 off on the order of 200, etc., etc. And they end up balancing that discount with a delivery tip, and they have like added extra charges, delivery tip, late night fee, etc., etc. It just makes me sad that people are they not able to see this, or they are being ignorant about it. I think there are reasons we are not questioning these things.
Yeah, I would say our tendency to not question everything and follow whatever we have been asked to follow.
Yeah, that's true. I think that there is a term for this. It's called cognitive dissonance. You know?
Yeah, we get discomfort when
our beliefs are challenged.
Yeah, beliefs are challenged.
People have become so intolerant that they're not even able to listen to the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
They just want to stay with their own, that what they already believe in. It's hard for them to even give it I would say, a neutral point of view to understand.
Yeah.
They are always like having these very strong confirmation bias.
Yeah, I would like to tell you a story. I read it in the book of 21 Lessons of 21st Century. It
By
was
Yuval Noah Harari. Right?
Yeah. You asked me one day. You asked me, I would post through Tera, so I was pondering about this thing over internet. Then I got to know that he has discussed extensively about this in his book. So I was reading this part in his book. So I got to know about a story. Okay, there was a boy from one particular community, and he was just 9-year-old. And a rumor is spread in the locality that that boy was ritually murdered by another community. And this resulted into massacre of millions of innocent people of that community.
Okay, wow, that sounds very heartbreaking.
Yeah, people were having hatred for that community for a considerable period of time. It was in 20th century when people got to know that this persisting hatred is based upon just
a fake news.
Yeah, just on a rumor.
Yeah.
And the author writes it in a very, I would say,
Sarcastic way.
yeah, deep, in a very deep line that, well, some truth,
Some fake news.
yeah, some fake, but he says some fake truth, only lasts for 700 years.
Okay.
And look, this is very true with other things like scientific inventions.
Right.
No one could believe that our Mother Earth was spherical in shape till we got till the Pythagoras proposed that the Earth is round, and later on Aristotle declared that the Earth is spherical in shape.
Right.
Yeah. And
I think
look,
same thing happened with the Copernicus also. Like he was the one who first proposed that Earth revolves around the sun, and later Galileo confirmed it.
Yeah.
And Galileo was sent to sentence for it was like kind of a exile, I would say.
Yeah.
For questioning the beliefs of people who used to believe that sun revolves around the Earth.
yeah.
So I think that's the post-truth in functioning right there.
And look at this. Look at this with the case of our one thing, that the current trending issue, that is Murphy's Law. It has come into light because of one of the web series, Nowadays, everyone is justifying their mishappenings of their life with that Murphy's law.
Right.
No one is trying to identify what went wrong in their endeavors. They are just believing on an unscientific theory that whatever can go wrong will go wrong, and sometimes at the worst possible time.
Wow. I mean, that sounds very intriguing. Yeah, I mean, on a similar note, I was reading this publication by European Center for Populism Studies.
Yeah.
You know, they discussed post-truth in a way that, you know, it's quite interesting to note. They said that post-truth is much more devious and dangerous to the democratic fabric of our society. And the prefix post, which is used in the term, refers to the claim that a specified idea has become redundant and therefore can be safely discarded. And post-truth is the belief that truth is no longer essential, that truth has become obsolete. Post-truth is not simply the opposite of truth, it is more complicated.
Yeah, it is complicated.
Yeah, basically, I mean, for our audience, we have to like clarify this thing that post-truth doesn't mean a lie.
Yeah.
It is just about having a perception which is making you not question a certain thing.
Yeah.
Right, and it's more complicated just than, you know, being an opposite of a lie, opposite of a truth.
Yeah.
It's not lie, it's just a very manipulated truth, and in which people tend to, I would say, accept their own preconceived notions, and this behavior can be traced in our daily life also. Like when we are believing something, for example, like, you know, when you believe in a certain kind of diet, I mean, you know, this fitness thing is going on in this, you know, new modern,
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know if we'll call it an era or whatever, but this fitness thing is going a lot in the market. Everyone is putting Instagram reels about fitness and, you know, all these exercises, being a gym rat, etc. Every person has their own diet. Okay,
I'm not criticizing, but are you able to notice this sapate trend, desi workout trend?
Yeah, I mean, I think people, you know, they tend to just follow the herd mentality at the end. You know, if something is trending, I think
if something is followed by the crowd, then I'll also follow.
Exactly.
This is the mentality we are having.
Yeah, like people are, you know, just praising this. I don't know, remember the name of the guy, the 75 day
hard challenge. Yeah.
And that thing, I mean, we need to question it. Like, why we are falling for it? Why do we have to put him on a higher pedestal? You might be good at something else.
Yeah.
You might, what you are doing in your life is much more. It's just different. You don't have to compare it.
The reality is that he is able to follow that 75-day hard challenge in a manner which he is showing, because his sole goal in his life is to complete that 75 days hard challenge. If you see him and if you follow him, he says that he does work out for more than 5 to 6 hours in a day.
Yeah, twice a day. Yeah.
Twice a day. A normal working person can't find this time.
Exactly. And still they want to do it. Like,
and still they fantasize about it. That I'll follow 75 days hard challenge in my life, this. Why they are not able to understand that his 75-day hard challenge is different than yours.
Exactly.
He is living a different life than you.
You know, I think it's all about, you know, like we have already discussed. You see things again and again.
Yeah.
Repetition of something.
Yeah.
And since we are connected to this world through our small screens, and that is the main source of manipulation. Like, if you are seeing something trending, it's crossing your eye again and again. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why you have started believing it to be something, like, you know, it must be something good. That's why people are following it. And, you know, I think you were telling me about the same thing, which this is the only technique which are followed by all these propagandists like Hitler.
Yeah, you are reminding me about the method used by Joseph Goebbels. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were telling me about some that. Please elaborate.
Look, his method was that that a lie told once remains a lie, but if that lie has been told 1,000 times, then it will become the truth.
Exactly, and that's what is happening with us, I think, in this
Yeah.
digital era.
Even Hitler also writes this in his Mein Kampf that let me recall it. He had written something like, if you are if you want success in one particular thing, you have to confine yourself to few points and repeat it over and over in order to yield success or desired results.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it is really unfortunate that we are living in the post-truth era where masses have embarked upon a journey to accumulate wealth of information, like I already said.
Yeah.
But it is in the end leading to poverty of attention. So,
And are you able to notice the impatient nature of human being because of this era?
yeah, I mean, the best example for that is these US presidential elections. Like, I can explain that thing from a perspective of echo chamber. You might have heard of the echo chambers.
I have read about some psychological concepts behind this post-truth reality.
Right.
Yeah.
And that echo chamber was playing its role in the Capitol riot in the United States on that day. I think it was January 6, 2021.
Yeah. You were quite good at dates.
No. I just read it yesterday only. That's why I remember it.
But still, you are able to recall the exact date.
Thanks for the compliment, Mr. A. Anyway.
Yeah.
So what happened in that event? There was a widespread circulation of misinformation and conspiracy theories claiming that the 2020 presidential election was fraudulent and, I would say, stolen. The word used was stolen. It's metaphorical. And supporters of these theories formed virtual echo chambers. Like, echo chambers is something, for the sake of audience, I'll explain it to you in brief.
Yeah.
Like, it is something, I would say, it's a small space.
Yeah.
It can be digital, like if you have certain beliefs, that kind of content will appear on your reels.
Yeah.
And you will start believing that everyone else is also following the same thing. Your confirmation bias, your preconceived notions will get strengthened again and again if you'll watch all those things, which reinstates your belief.
Yeah.
Right? And it creates that echo chamber because it's like, it's echoing in a certain space. Like, the same thing is getting repeated and again. And that's why you're not able to see other perspectives.
Yeah, it's like living in a bubble.
Exactly.
Look, it can be seen with a very lucid example. Let's suppose you search something on Google, be it a trimmer. The moment you search best trimmer within 2000 or within 1000, thereafter, whenever you visit on any other particular website for other purposes, you'll get ads of trimmers and that will be under 2000.
Privacy is just an abstract concept for me.
And even if you don't want to buy that trimmer, you will get various lucrative offers. Like, you will be shown that this trimmer in reality costs 6,000, but here is the offer, you will get it in just 1,800. And the other ad says that this costs around 7,000, here you will get just 2,200.
Last day offer.
Yeah, last day offer. These patterns of creating fake urgency.
Dark patterns.
Yeah, dark patterns, I would say. Even I came across with the news that Ministry of Education, Corporate Affairs have identified certain dark patterns over e-commerce websites, and they are coming up with a circular to curb it. I don't know what will happen, but let's see. But these kind of methods, like creating fake urgency, you were just putting a person in a bubble where he just try thinks in his head that he has to buy a trimmer, just because he has searched on Google.
That's true. Yeah, those ads are quite apparent on every other app.
Yeah, and we repeatedly get to see that I'm getting a trimmer in just 2000, I'm getting a trimmer in just 2000. And by the repetition of this, I would say ads and this
you will
thing,
end up buying it.
yeah, I'll end up buying it.
Yeah, that's true. I think, all these
But thankfully now I have invented a trick for myself. Whenever I search anything,
okay.
I clear my history.
Okay.
And then I say 5 times to myself that I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it.
Has it worked for you? Like this technique?
Yeah, it is working for the present.
Okay.
But let's see what happens in the future.
Well, let's see. We'll ask our audience to comment in sections.
Yeah.
Letting us know whether it's working or not.
Yeah.
Combating these dark patterns.
Yeah.
Which is manipulating us every second.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the whole foundation of these beauty standard, I would say, brands. Like, all these narratives going on. Although people have started talking about body positivity and like all kind of skin tones is beautiful and all these things are going on, but I think still we have not reached to a point where having a different skin color is normal. People do have in the back of their mind they tend to see you differently.
Yeah.
Racism might not be there on their conscious mind, but still it is there in the subconscious. People might not agree with me completely, but for me at least, when I see a certain person from a different country, I'm not saying I become racist in my head, but I tend to see them differently. Like, I start to see them what kind of clothes they are wearing, what kind of hairstyle the person is having. So I think all these things,
It's like start judging others.
Yeah, I do, and people, I have come across people who tell that I don't judge. Just because you're not saying it on their mouth doesn't mean that you're not judging.
Yeah.
And I have no shame in admitting that when I see someone, I do make an opinion, and I don't know if I should call it a judgment or not, but I do make a certain kind of image for that person in my head. And when that person is not with me in person, when I think of that person, it can be anyone, I tend to hook on to that personality, right?
Yeah, I call it manipulation of identity. Like nowadays, if you see a human being, what do you see?
Well, I can only see whether the person is following the trend or not. If they are not following their trend, I am like, okay, this person is like me, I guess.
Okay. So you also have your preconceived biasness towards
Obviously,
it.
I do have my preconceived biases. I have my confirmation bias. I have my own echo chamber. I am no saint, I would say. I'm also falling for all these manipulations. The only reason I'm here to talk about it, because I want to see whether it is happening with us only, or people are able to see these things. Are they able to question it?
No. I bought this identity thing before you. Like when we see a human being, it has become our normal tendency to see a different personality in that human being. Like whether he is rich, poor, Hindu, Muslim, fat, thin,
true.
and many others kind of personalities.
Traits,
personalities,
features.
Features. We do not confine ourselves to the simple fact that he is just a human being like us. He is having 2 hands, 2 legs, and he can speak. We just always look for these kind of particular things, that whether he is Hindu, Muslim, rich, poor, fat, thin, fair, black.
True.
So, and even we as an individual, have somehow made a belief in our head that we are like this, we are like this, we are poor, we are rich, we are fat, we are thin. I just don't understand that why don't we accept the very simple reality that we are just a human being.
I think the capitalism is in the play right now. I guess people want to make you feel insecure about your looks, so that you can end up buying their cosmetic products. How will they run their?
No, it's not limited to capitalism. Capitalism could be one of the factor, but it goes to many ways.
Right. I mean, currently I would say in our country, it is.
Do you recall that COVID period?
COVID.
Yeah.
Pandemic. Yeah.
When people started asking names of the shopkeepers before buying something from them. Whenever they find that the shopkeeper is Muslim, they tend to avoid.
Why is that?
Because someone had spreaded some new videos that this shopkeeper is a Muslim and he is spitting in his
Hands.
not on hands, but he is spitting on his stuffs which is he's selling.
Okay, so that he can spread the virus.
Yeah, so that he can spread the virus.
Oh God.
And various videos were circulating on that moment. And I don't know why this happened, but it resulted into a sheer hatred against that community.
Yeah, I mean,
In the Hindu community.
Right. Post-truth world is leading to a very intense polarization, I would say. People are getting distant. The individual life is taking over the community life.
Yeah.
And I just feel that we just need to start, questioning things. And that will be the first step. Like if you see some video, you don't have to do much. You just have to question whether whatever video or information you are reading or consuming, you just have to question whether the authority, the person who is saying this, is having that kind of knowledge or not, whether the source is authentic or not. So I mean, I think to curb or to fight this manipulative market or whatever you want to call it, the manipulative post-truth world, we just need to encourage media literacy, critical thinking, fact-checking and digital literacy. I think these are the few things which we can work on, and we can kind of create a safe boundary where we are not letting these things intrude our course.
Yeah, but in that venture, I would say we have to be cautious that we are neutral, because even this fact-checking approach
can make you question even the good things.
Can make you question even the good things.
That's
and
the challenge. You have to find that balance. Like you need to stop questioning things. Like
do you know that on social media there are two types of fact checkers? They have just divided themselves into two like-minded groups. If someone checks one facts, then the other group checks his facts and comes up with something new. They are just competing themselves in a negative manner. They are just demurring the I would say the exact authenticity.
I couldn't get it properly. Can you give an example?
Yeah, look. If there is one scenario, then one group has just started fact checking about it, and then it has concluded its fact checking thing and come up with an opinion that this is happening and this is the source of this scenario. Okay.
Right.
Then the other group sees it that this group has made an opinion about this scenario in this fashion, in this manner. So now it's my turn to change the mindset. So then again this group checks the facts of this scenario, and then he adds his spices in it, and then he brings a new conclusion over the same scenario.
Yeah, that's basically I'm asking. You don't have to depend on other groups to identify whether that fact.
Whether they are right or
Exactly, you just have their own. Trust your instincts, trust your gut feeling, trust your beliefs that like whatever you just have to listen to your own self.
yeah. And why can't you check the facts?
Exactly, you do it on your part.
Why can't you refer authoritative sources like
Yeah.
books,
Everything is
archives?
available in like public domain, right?
Yeah.
Well, do I would give you the I would say I would give you the chance to conclude this intense discussions of ours. I think you already told me you would like to conclude it on a very interesting note. So go ahead with it, Mr. A. Yeah.
I'm fortunate to get that opportunity.
Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah.
not?
On a concluding note, I would say our society is driven by the narratives set by very few.
True.
Yeah. People have lost their faith in themselves and they tend to look for validations from others.
True.
And when they don't get their validations, when they don't find their bubble, or I would say their echo chamber, like-minded people,
True.
and they try to settle where they don't find discomfort with their beliefs,
Right.
and the moment they jump, or I would say they get into another bubble where they find people are having diverse perspectives, it just makes them lonely.
True that.
Yeah, and they start feeling lost in their head. It is like they start feeling subjugated in their head without even fighting a real battle. This is really scary, and this is really terrifying. And I would say, if the concept of post-truth era is assumed to be true,
Yeah, I mean it is definitely true as per my understanding and what I have made a conclusion after reading about all the things related to post-truth. I mean, I have not read everything, but as per my limited readings, I would say it is going on, like it is right there and functioning, and we are falling for it every other second. And
I recall one incident of real life. Do you know Palki Sarma Upadhyay?
yeah, she's a very celebrated journalist.
Yeah.
On news, yeah.
And do you know why did she resign?
Yeah, I think she was not. What I watched her interview, she was saying that there was this toxic culture of karobar.
Yeah, Karobar. She discussed with Samita Prakash over her podcast.
Yeah, they used to like have drinks in the car after the office hours.
After the office hours and all. And she didn't participate in.
Yeah, exactly.
So she was
Criticized for
sidelined.
it, yeah.
She was being sidelined by others who were cherishing this Karobar culture and who were just giving their or showing their interest in their Karobar culture.
Right, that's true.
And that led her to quit the international forum. And now she has embarked upon on other venture, but
Yeah, I think people who tend to question are definitely going to get questioned too.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's how it works. But
Again, I would say Newton's third law of motion
Yeah.
comes here too, that what you deliver, you get.
True that, yeah. To
Every action
there
is
equal and
opposite reaction.
That's
Yeah.
true. Well, thank you for being here, Mr. A. I think this discussion was quite.
Thank you so
pending for a
much,
very
Mr.
long
Jed,
time.
for giving me the space to share my thoughts over this issue.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's wait for the audience to, like join us soon on the next episode.
Yeah, let's see their response.
Till then, keep reading.
Yeah.
Keep reading more and more.
Yeah.
And let's meet again
Yeah, and
on the
then
next session.
if public demands something particular, we'll read and come up.
Yeah, definitely. This is for the audience.
Yeah.
Anything which you think we should be talking about,
Yeah.
please drop it on the comment
section.
And we'll try to bring the authentic sources related to it.
And we are not doing it for the sake of doing podcast and like other
Yeah, we are just here to question things.
Yeah, we are just here to question things, and we are just questioning in a casual manner.
Right, yeah. Just an ordinary conversation.
Yeah.
No ulterior motives, no propaganda, no agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much for listening us.
Take care, guys. Have a great 2024.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.